Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 83 of Six Figure Live. My name is Ben Hartley with Style and Story Creative and Six Figure Photography. And today is Q&A Friday, which, as you guys know, is one of my favorite days of the week because it gives us a chance to really exchange a back and forth kind of dialogue. I'm here at my house in Columbus, Ohio. What's up, Amy? I'm home right now. Normally on Fridays at the office, we take off every Friday. Well, I don't. The rest of the guys do, usually because we're shooting on weekends. And so I'm here we'll go ahead and call this, well, it's just my bedroom. It's just a messy bedroom. I was going to call it like the library or something. No, it's just my bedroom. Give me one second. So I knew today was going to be kind of crazy. We already had we got a chance. What's up, Michelle? We got a chance to see our twins. We're expecting twins, if you guys didn't know that. And so we got a chance to see them over at an OBGYN appointment this morning. And then snuck in some voting, right? What's up with that? Seriously, what's up with that? I'm going to get my hair did here for my presentation at United. Going to get it all trimmed up. And then after that, what else is after that? Photo booth. So I wanted to get some time for you guys here today. Give me one quick second. Hey, Michelle, Leslie's in the house too. Okay, so real quick, before we jump into Q&A Friday, let me let you guys know what's going on here. There's a lot of people who may just be watching for the very first time, and so welcome to Six Figure Live. The entire purpose of this is to get you guys behind the scenes, to kind of get you inside my head a little bit, to find some motivation, some inspiration for your week, as well as for you to see what we're doing as a studio, to see the decisions that we're making, the choices, the successes, the failures, the stuff that we're trying out, to keep moving forward, keep moving the needle, and keep finding a successful business this year and next and the following. Nate, what's up, my man? And so that's really a great goal of this. The other advantage is the fact that you guys can leave comments and we can chat, we can dialogue. And so as I'm talking right now, this is going to be back and forth. I'd love to get live questions from you guys. There's already been a number of questions that have hit my inbox, but I actually really like the ones that put me on the spot super live. And so I'd love for you guys to drop in some questions, and I'd love to try to answer them for you. I think it'd be great. So on the topic of interaction, I'm going to be going to United to speak. I leave on Sunday. I'm going to be doing a presentation there that I'm really, really excited about. I'm going to spend a lot of time with photographers. And so I wanted to let you guys know about something that you should take advantage of, because you can actually, even if you're not attending United, you can watch United for free. You can watch the keynote presentations, and you can get some of my talk as well. I think they're going to drop in a portion of it. And so I want to please encourage you guys just to go check it out. You get to watch that live. So I'm going to drop a link in here at the end of this, and I'll mention it later, but it's going to be showit.co/united-online. It's long. I'll just drop you a link in the comments. But you can check out a live stream of the keynote sessions and as well portions of the breakout sessions as well. So please take advantage of that. I think it's going to be awesome. Okay, as questions are coming in, I'm going to start going into the questions that have hit my inbox, and we're going to start talking about those. And so get some live questions going, and I'm going to be looking out for them. Before I begin with this, you guys, really the goal of this Q&A Friday, like I'm not going to pretend like I have all the answers, right? I'm in the middle of this with you. And so I'm going to give you guys the past experiences that I have, things that I've done wrong, right, and just kind of share my experiences with you guys. So I'm coming at it from that perspective. There's going to be times I got questions I'm just going to own and not necessarily have everything in a nice, tidy package for you guys. So these questions, I've just jotted them down, but I haven't really gone in and like slaved over them. And so it's going to be kind of fun. All right, let's just jump right in here. Gabrielle. I think it's Gabrielle. Gabrielle says this, Mo, I'm struggling with posing my clients. I feel like I'm not able to communicate what I envision in my mind, right? I try to direct, but I feel like I'm coming off as rude or unknowing. And so she's looking for help with that. And so this is something, by the way, you guys, posing clients, directing, I think every single photographer, no matter how skilled you are, still struggles with this. I think again, right now, we're getting towards the end of a really crazy busy season, and we're almost exhausted. Our mind, our mentality, our creativity gets to be a little bit stretched and exhausted by this time of the year, where even the veterans are out there feeling like, man, I've done that. What else can I do to inject some sort of authenticity into this moment? And so, one of the things that you mentioned here is coming across as unknowing. And I think that's something that I'm going to hone in on for a minute here because I've been on the other side of the camera and I felt that feeling of like, does this photographer, like, what am I doing it right? Because when you have that stutter step, when you have that moment where you kind of like pause and have this little mini freak out, the client is actually not really looking at you as the photographer being like, what are they doing? They're looking internally at themselves being like, oh man, what am I doing wrong? Right? And I want to encourage you to have that mentality, is to remember they're not looking at you wondering, does this guy know what he's doing? They're looking back at themselves being like, I must be posing wrong, I must be smiling wrong, they must be struggling to photograph my body type right, they must be struggling to make these images look wrong. And so in that regard, you guys, my one of my big advices is start every session off managing expectations, right? So start every portrait session off just letting people know, hey, there's gonna be times I'm gonna give you really specific direction on what exactly to do. There's also gonna be times where I'm gonna give you more of a direction, like, hey, go here, do this thing, walk this way, right? But also, you guys, make sure that you tell them, hey, I'm going to communicate to you when I'm just thinking, maybe when I'm just thinking about the lighting or when I'm changing a lens. So that way you're not wondering, should I still be smiling or all that kind of stuff. You guys over communicate, photographers over communicate on your portrait sessions, over communicate at all times. All right. And so that would be one of my first things is please over communicate to your couples. Keep talking, keep encouraging. As soon as you stop talking and things get quiet, they start internalizing things and kind of have a little mini freak out session. The next advice is this: have like 3 or 4 like go to safe things that like you know that you're going to be able to rock, right? They're like your move that you can go to and use those as like a little breather, a mentality breather, right? And you're going to do them every session. They're going to be like little saving shots that you go back to, and it's just going to free your mind up just for a moment, even just to come up with something new. So that would be another piece of advice. Have 3 or 4. Don't have like this whole, I would encourage you probably not to have like a whole like booklet. I used to do this, right? I'd bring an iPad with an entire list of like inspiration shots. I think that gets a little tricky, but I would have like 3 or 4 of your go-to moves that you can use to go back to make sure that you can revisit. The next thing is you're worried about coming across as rude. I mean, so much of this is having like wearing a smile on your face, right? Like having fun with it. Like if you're not having fun on your portrait sessions, on your wedding days, on your engagements, you're doing it wrong. Like you need to have fun and let people know. Like loosen up. Like it's okay to have fun. Like have a good time. So as you're directing, if they're getting it wrong, just laugh with them, right? Like never put the blame on them. Just keep laughing. Like that's one of my best advice. Keep laughing. Keep smiling. Keep shooting. Give them permission to just goof off. Give yourself permission to goof off. Okay. I think so often we like create this bar for ourselves that we have to be like super like, okay, it's got to be this. Just have a lot of fun. Okay, I'm gonna keep moving. Thanks, Gabrielle. Let's see. This is when Jessica says this. Hey, Thomas, what's up, man? Steven's in the house. Jessica says, one of my biggest challenges right now is getting my name out there when living in such a small town. You guys, there's so many of us who deal with this. There's so many photographers who deal with this. I've dealt with this when I first started off. I was in Bowling Green, Ohio, really small town, but there's smaller towns out there, right? And so getting your name out there when you're just starting out and you're trying to ramp things up and you're in such a small area, I almost feel like you might even have a little bit of an advantage being in a small town because things are so tight there, right? One of my first things would be this. I think a lot of times photographers are always looking for like big bridal expos, right? Like, let's go to the bridal expo. Let's go, and they're spending like $500, $1,000, $1,500 to go to a bridal expo. A lot of small towns have really great things. They're just like festivals, right? Go to the Chamber of Commerce. Like, honestly, go to the Chamber of Commerce. It'll be like 100, maybe $200 to become a part of the Chamber of Commerce. And start attending local events. Start attending small local festivals. In Westerville, a suburb of Columbus, they have like the 4th Friday of every month. They hold these festivals, you guys. And you can get a booth there. You can get like a table there. And it's hopping and it's busy and it's all the local people. It's all the local vendors. And the one great luxury with this is it's not specifically a bridal expo, but there is zero competition, Like at a bridal expo, you're competing with everyone else in the market. Start showing up to the smaller events. Start getting your ads out to these smaller kind of festival things if you're in a small town like that. And I think that it's going to be really cost effective, but also you're going to be able to like start to make a name for yourself within, again, small towns. It's all about the local businesses, the vendors there, and start building those relationships that way. I think that'd be a really great way to go about that. And it's a different way. I think when you look at the wedding industry, we're always talking about these big things. You know what I mean? Start thinking to how can you play to your advantage of being in a small town to start attracting people. And honestly, again, it's really cost effective. Let's keep going. Hey, Amy says this: next time I'm in Columbus, can we get coffee? Hey, Amy, of course we can. Shoot me Facebook messages, by the way, tend to get lost, so don't shoot me a Facebook message. Email the studio, and let's set that up. Okay, cool. Catherine says this. This is a long question, you guys. So I'm going to do my best to read this. Catherine says this: the fear of generating money, and she breaks it down further. She says this: fear of generating money. For instance, she knows that she needs to get better gear to get a full frame camera. Currently, she only owns a 35 millimeter. She needs to get more lenses. She needs to get better gear. But I don't know what to do to get the money to do it. Like there's like this thing, like what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Like how are you supposed to like make money taking pictures if you don't have the right gear? How are you supposed to get gear if you don't have the money, et cetera, et cetera? So she doesn't, she can't afford it right now. She doesn't want to put up her own personal money. So she was thinking about doing like mini sessions to cover it. Anyhow, long story short, let's talk about this. You guys, one of my big things is I get real nervous when I hear photographers talking about taking out a loan to get a 7200, taking out a loan to go to a bridal expo, taking out a loan to get gear. Let me tell you how I did it when I first started. When I first started out, first off, I had a goal. I had a big vision. My goal was to go full time, right? I didn't just, when I had just gotten married, I was an art major. I was in ministry. I had $0. I had a lot of college debt. And so I was very realistic. I was very practical, right? And so I got a normal day job. Okay, so I got a day job. Day job supplemented, day job paid the bills, day job allowed me to bring food on the table, right? And then I started doing shoots. And literally, you guys, every single dollar from that shoot went back into the business. And it started off renting gear, right? So I was working a day job, and I started serving tables. I'm not talking about go get some great big salary job, right? If this is what you want to do, go start waiting tables, pay the damn bills, and then start shooting and put all that money that from your shooting gigs, reinvest it back in. Don't take out debts, don't take out loan. And if it starts with just rent a 7200, rent the 5D Mark IV, right? Go do a shoot. I love what you said here, Catherine, how you're going to go. One of your ideas was, hey, maybe I can start doing a bunch of fall mini sessions. That's amazing, right? Go and run with that, but be really intentional. Set a goal for yourself. My goal with these mini sessions is to make $3,000, $4,000, right? And I'm going to put all that back in, and I'm going to get XYZ lenses, and then you guys, the big thing here is then start charging more as you start investing in yourself, as you start getting better gear, start raising your prices, okay? And eventually there's going to be a transition that's going to be happening, right? And this happened with me. There's a transition whereas your gear starts leveling up and your prices start going up and your bookings start going up and your marketing start going up and the word of mouth starts going up and your value that you're providing your clients start going up. You're now not going to need your day job, and then you get to leave, okay? So, Catherine, you're on the right track. I love the idea about fall mini sessions. But if you need to, like very realistically, if you need to start picking up some serving shifts and to pay the bills and start putting the money back into your business. And it's okay to rent. It's okay to rent for if you can't afford to get a lens just yet. All right. Okay, cool. And I think too, you guys, we have this really big vision of what our business needs to be, and it's not there right now, right? You're sitting and you're looking at your 7D Mark I with a 50 millimeter 1.8, and you're just like, man, I need to get all this stuff, and it's going to cost $30,000. Just take it one step at a time, okay? Just start with getting a 35, then to the 85. Just like keep going, chip away at it, okay? You don't need to get everything all at once. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. Troy says this: my biggest thing I struggle with is simply getting started. He says this: taking the plunge headfirst and committing the time necessary to be successful. I'm scared about that. I guess the main reason behind this question is the fear of the unknown and not knowing what will happen once I commit to going full time. Look, Troy, this is like everyone. everyone is scared of what does it look like when I take the plunge? What does it look like for me to actually go all in, right? Like you're not alone. Like every single one of us has this fear of what happens if I say I'm going to go full time with photography. What happens if I not even go full time? What happens if I put my business cards out there, my website, my brand, I blast on Facebook, I say, hey, I'm going to do these mini sessions. What happens if no one shows up? That fear is very real, and I think for so many of us, one of the things that we have to come to terms with is who are we really afraid of, who are we scared of letting down? Because I think it's oftentimes it's not you, man. Troy, my guess is you're not really worried about letting yourself down. I bet you're worried about the perception of your failure and who's going to see that and how they're going to perceive you, right? Is it just like your buddies? Is it other photographers? Is it your family, your wife? Is it your kids? Is it your mom and dad? I don't know how old you are, man. Like I think we have to be honest with ourselves and recognize who are we scared of letting down? Who are we afraid to see, or who are we worried about seeing us fail? And then register the fact that none of that matters. Like you are you, man. Like go for it, dude. Go for it. Move forward, and you're gonna fail. Like I'm not saying you're gonna fail entirely. There's gonna be so many hiccups along the way, right? It's just part of it, man. But come to terms with the fact that like it's okay. Like we can't have it all together. And so I would encourage you to go and jump in. Now, with that being said, I don't know what your situation is. I don't know if you have kids or family. And in that situation, there's a very real understanding that then maybe you need to be like a little bit more cautious and make sure that your ducks in a row to support the people that you need to support. But jump in, man. Go, like commit to it. Commit to it. Commit to it. All right. Hey, Christy says, did you have money saved up when you first went full time, like a year's worth of a previous job or more? I have heard this from other people, but not sure how I would be able to do that. Hey, great question, Christy. So I didn't necessarily have first off, my debt was paid off. So I at least had gotten rid of the majority of, I don't want to say every little bit, but the majority of my student loans were paid off because I had worked full time. Christy, just so we're clear, I worked full time for 3 years alongside of my photography business before going full time, right? I worked full time trying to get debt paid off, trying to get things in a row. By the time I did go full time, I didn't have a ton saved up, but what I did have was I had bookings lined up, right? There was an expectation that I knew that there was money down the road. There was money in the pipeline. And so I think that's something you also have to be honest with yourself with is, do you have bookings? Do you have leads coming in? Do you have inquiries that you're going to be able to fill your year up? And so for me, I looked at, my 2013 was when I went full time. I looked at 2013 and I saw that I had 20 weddings booked and that I was in good shape to go ahead and take the plunge and leave, right? And so that's something that I did have lined up. I think it's smart, right? It's always smart to have savings set up, to have that emergency fund set up. I didn't fully have exactly what I needed there, but I did have the bookings. And I think also too, I had this self-awareness to know that I was going to make it happen. There's also this kind of like fight or flight mentality of like sometimes you just need to go all in. This is going back to you, Troy. Like when you jump all in and there's no other option, it's either like you succeed or you don't eat. Shit starts like getting done. And I think so often we're very timid because we've got all these security nets all around us, and so we're I don't know, maybe I won't do a mini session, maybe I won't raise my prices, you know what, maybe I won't attend this bridal show, I don't know, maybe. And it's the people that go all in and they double down on their strengths and they focus all their mentality on this one thing, because if they don't, then shit's gonna get super real, that end up winning. And so that's why, Troy, I think that you do just go for it, like really go for it. Because there's no other option at that point, Okay, cool. Jason, what's up, my man? Okay, cool. Let's read this one. Damiana says this: my ultimate dream is to do wedding photography, but I'm stuck doing portraits. I enjoy portraits, but I'm not in love with them. So how do I make that transition? So going from the transition from one genre of photography to the next, right? She's shooting portraits, she's shooting families, whatever that may be, maybe babies, but she wants to do weddings. How do you make that transition? For starters is you have to start attracting clients towards the wedding photography niche. And the only way to attract people to your brand is to actually align yourself to them. And so everything that you should be doing should be communicating weddings, weddings, weddings. Your website needs to be weddings, and so it sounds like this. Well, no, she didn't say. I don't know if you have any experience at all. So maybe at the start is you need to start second shooting. You need to start doing some events for free, some engagement shoots, some style shoots. You need to create some work to show, and then whether you create a separate brand or whatever, but all of your imagery needs to be exactly what you want to shoot. You need to put your all of your weddings need to be on the forefront. When you land on your website, there shouldn't be a single portrait on your website. It should all be weddings, 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 weddings. All your copy is weddings, 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 weddings. And that doesn't mean that you have to stop doing portraits, right? But you're trying to present your brand to move towards weddings, and it's going to be a transition that'll happen. And so when you get the phone call, when you get the email that says, "Hey, I noticed that your website doesn't show portraits anymore. We did a session last year. I'd love to hire you again." Say, "Of course, yes, let's do it." If you want to, at least, right? It doesn't mean you have to turn it down. This is your business. You can shape it however you want. But what I am saying is that your brand needs to be aligned to attract the clients, your ideal clients, and so. So that would be it. I mean, a great way to just like surcharge this and just get like a blast of wedding leads is just show up to a bridal expo, like sign up, go to it, and start making stuff happen, and get some inquiries going that way. So Jason says, "This was on my man. Maybe an odd question, but I'm curious as to what kind of shoes you wear to a wedding. After every wedding, I photograph my feet kill." Jason, I'm a little bit of an odd man out. I'm under the mentality that if the groom has to suffer on the wedding day, that I'm going to suffer alongside him. And what I mean is this: if it's 90 degrees and the groom's in a suit and coat, I'm going to be in a suit coat, right? And yes, I could take it off and I could just go to a vest, and I could, but like I want to look sharp. I want to look like I'm a part of that wedding as well. And so that's my mentality. So honestly, I don't have super comfortable shoes, but I've got really nice looking shoes, and it's just something that I value, right? And I value for my brand. I value for the relationship that I have with my clients. I think they see it and they value it. And so don't ask me that question, man, because my shoes, like, they're not comfortable and my feet hurt too. But for me, it's just like, it's part of it. But it's not a question. I think a lot of photographers are wondering. I think a lot of female photographers are also really wondering this question, because if you think you got it bad, man, dude, the girls have it way worse, in regards to like the flat situation, that they're stuck with. So I might not be the best person to ask, because I'm very much like, I just suck it up. I deal with it. Jason says, "I wear a dress shirt and vest, and I've worn dress shoes as well. Just wondering." Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm with you. And I'm like full 3-piece suit, kind of a situation. So, okay, cool. More questions. So it's 11:52. I've got to get to my appointment here in a little bit, so I'm going to try to fly through some of these. If not, I may have to keep going. Christy says this: "Does your wife wear suits too? Lady suits, heels?" No, she doesn't. Leslie has always worn dresses to wedding days. I'm trying to think. There may have been a couple times. Yeah, there was a couple times where she did like pants and a blouse or something. But she always rocked the dresses. Dresses with the pockets was always nice for her. Usually it was like a black dress. So she rocked it. She looked amazing, and had a great time shooting too. So, okay. But maybe she'd be better. Maybe I can convince Leslie to come on and talk a little bit about that. Okay, let's see here. Mariah says this. Mariah says, "My biggest struggle is closing the deals with possible clients who email me." I'm about to go crazy on this one, Mariah. Mariah, if you're listening, if you're watching this one, I'm going to go hard. But it's just something I really believe in, and so take this, please, with encouragement, with optimism, with positivity. But I'm going to go hard. I'm not going hard specifically on you, but the industry at large. Mariah says this even in more detail. She says, "My biggest struggle is closing the deals with possible clients who email me. They ask me about our photography business and our pricing, but the hardest part is knowing what to say and how to say it in order to captivate them. When we meet face to face, I almost always get the job, but how do I portray my confidence and ability in my emails? Thanks so much." Hey, let's like hone in on this for a quick second. You said this: when you meet face to face, you always book the gig. But when you email, how do you convey that same personality, that same what did you say? But how do I say that same confidence and ability in your emails? Mariah, it's an uphill battle. You don't. There's an amazing reason why when you get face to face with someone that you're booking them that emails can't. When you get face to face with someone, you get to show your passion, you get to show your heart, you get to give a shit about them in a very real, personal way that your emails just can't do. Do you get that? This is why, Mariah, you need to pick up the phone and start dialing. When you get a lead that hits your inbox, don't effing email them. If you want to look like everybody else, if you want to be forgotten, if you want to just put your shit out there and be compared apples to every other schmuck photographer out there, then go ahead and keep emailing them. But if you want to stand out, if you want to get the lead, if you want to actually provide real value to that client, understand what it is that they want, how to best serve them, what they care about, then pick up the phone and you're going to be able to convey your confidence. You're going to be able to convey the value that you can provide them so much better. And Mariah, the goal of that phone call is not to book them. The goal of the phone call is to do just what you're trying to do with your email. And what you're trying to do with your email is you're trying to provide value, portray value that you have to offer, and then schedule a pre-consultation meeting, right? It's the same thing with the phone call, but now you're actually going to be able to do it. You're actually going to be able to understand your client and communicate so much more realness to them. And I get so passionate about this because I've seen the other side and I've seen photographers fail left and right trying to resort to the most comfortable form of communication. Do you guys realize that when a bride is trying to decide who to hire to be a part of the most important day of their life, who to document it, who to capture the memories, who to preserve as an heirloom for their future generations, for their kids, who to tell their story, do you realize that it requires far greater personal finesse than a mother effing email? You guys, this is not just a problem in our industry. It's a problem in our society. Our society says it's okay to text, to pick up to text, to email when things require far greater personal finesse. Right now, we're just talking about bookings, but you guys everyone wants to know, how do I book a $10,000 wedding? How do I get someone to hire me for $5,000, $4,000, $3,000, $8,000, whatever that dollar amount may be for you? You're trying to figure that out, right? Do you realize that for a bride to spend $10,000 with you, that it requires far greater personal finesse than emailing them? Do you get that? Like, people are like, hey, Ben, how do you have couples who are willing to spend $10,000? Because I'm not fucking emailing them. I'm so sorry, but I'm just like, okay, so please, Mariah, you have to start giving a damn and actually calling your couples. And not, there's no magic script. I'm not saying call the couples because it's going to allow them to, you're going to say the magic words and then you're going to book them. I'm saying call your clients, call your couples, because you actually care and you want to understand what they actually care about, and you want to show them your passion. You want to show them that you give a damn. You want to show them that you're not just going to show up and click the shutter at an hourly rate, and you're not just going to give them the digital files. You're not just going to be a vendor, right? You're going to be Mariah photographing Jen and Steven's one day, right? Did you get that? Man, this is something that if the industry at large could wrap their head around this, that they could get over this thought that, I don't have time for that. You can't afford not to. Right now you're wasting time, countless hours sitting in front of a computer, typing away, and just sending it off to nowhere and being forgotten. You guys, you can't afford not to do this. And you remember, we are a service-based industry. Service, heart, passion. You're providing a relationship with people. Service, you guys. We're not just out there doing what and how we're not out there being craftsmen. We're providing a service. Okay. Whew. We're coming down from that one. I love you, Mariah. Thank you so much for shooting me that question. There's so many more questions, you guys, and what we may have to do is turn this into a Q&A Monday and follow back up with a lot of these, because there's a ton more questions that I want to get back to you guys. Okay, let me see what the live ones are, though, real quick. Hey, Devin, what's up, my man? Jason says, there are by far, I think you're just replying to Jason, these are by far the most comfortable shoes to shoot. Oh, good. So Devin has some shoes that he dropped in there. Devin, thank you so much for dropping that link. Because I think Devin's onto something. Just because they're nice doesn't mean they don't have to be uncomfortable. So, dude, amazing link there, Devin. I'm going to check those out. Thanks for dropping that in. Emily, thanks for the encouragement. Michelle says this isn't a question. I just want to thank you for changing my life. I haven't thanked you enough for the one-on-one mentorships and workshops. Michelle, like seriously, like thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much. You guys, like, people wonder. People see this shit and they're like, this is a scam. Like, why is this guy doing this? Like, that's why. Like, do you guys, like, quite honestly, I how do I say this without coming across weird? Like, I get off on that. Like, I'm sorry, but it makes my day. It makes my world. I can't lie. Like, it makes my heart sing, and it inspires me and it motivates me to see other people move forward and to find success. And when they say thank you, that like, hey, this actually made a difference. It really does mean the world to me. And so thank you, Michelle. That's so cool of you to say that, girl. And you're killing it. It's awesome. Okay, there's a lot more questions, but I've got to go. I'm sorry, you guys. I've got to wrap this up. I'm gonna get back to these. I'm gonna try to do this on Monday. I will be at United, and so what I would like to do is maybe I can try to steal one of the other presenters, one of the other speakers at United, and get them to come alongside me, and maybe we can bring them in. And so I'm gonna keep all these questions. If I emailed you, by the way, I respond to every single email, you guys. If I emailed you and I said I was gonna answer your question on today's episode and I didn't get to it, I want to apologize and say that I will get to it. It'll just have to be next week, okay? You guys, thank you so much. Thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for showing up. Devin, thanks for following up and responding to a question that I wasn't able to answer better. You guys mean the world to me. Keep working hard. Keep giving a damn. I really mean it. And so thank you, guys. I will see you in Arizona at United. I'm going to drop that link. Join me live. Watch the keynote sessions. Jasmine Starr, Natalie Frank are going to be keynote presenters there as well. And so give them some love, you guys. Thank you so much. I guess that's about it. I got to go get a haircut. Bye, everybody. Cheers.